Hi,
Yeah.
Roshan Raykar runs his own animation studio and his own training wing called School of Passion. And he's a global shaper at World Economic Forum. What exactly does that mean? I didn't get the global shaper, right? So,
Yeah. So, World Economic Forum has a community by the name Global Shapers for the age group between 20 and 30.
hmm,
So, this was started by them with an intention to give a platform to youngsters
right.
because youngsters previously were not given any voice to, bring their ideas and bring a change. So, they deliberately started this in different parts of the world with the credentials who are proactive enough to who have been doing stuff on their own. So we are a community of around 5,000 plus young global shapers and who are trying to create an impact in their own limits within their own cities and trying to bring a change within their own capacities.
Oh, okay. That sounds very interesting. So,
Yeah.
and it sounds like that's, I guess, part of an altruistic, thing. Or is it your passion, or is it just because you want to make a difference?
Uh, Actually, even before becoming a global shaper, I used to take initiatives which I used to feel the change has to come, and then just voluntarily, which makes me feel happy. But when they started, somebody recommended my name to them. So it's like a very close knit through a selection process. They choose global shapers.
Right.
So I think by the virtue of that proactive, that my thought process and their culture that sinks in, and that's how I got selected, and it gave me a better motive to start working towards the social initiative. So it's
Oh,
the sole purpose that it makes me very happy to keep doing my bit.
okay, that sounds great. That sounds very interesting. Just let's get started. So you were telling me about your animation studio and how you create personal branding for yourself, which is something I would like to share with my audience. That is
Yeah.
something they would like to learn. You know, whether how you got started and how you started creating personal branding for your studio.
Yeah, so it all started when I was like right after my college at the age of 22. Set out to start my own animation studio, the first animation studio in North Karnataka in Hubli. So it all without having any prior experience and things like that. So it actually took now 8+ years to learn the things the hard way.
Right.
So I've been really learning a lot through YouTube.
Okay.
And then I realized that personal branding and the business branding goes hand in hand. First is when we let out something that we really care about, and then we really are passionate about. So it starts attracting the right kind of energy, right kind of people. They start to relate to us. The knowledge sharing gives satisfaction, but ultimately we start getting valued for that knowledge. People start trusting us, and it builds a community. Then the additional benefits of that is that yes, now that we are respected for some having a particular kind of knowledge, then it starts adding to the business value as well. That okay, this person, yes, he's so passionate about design, art, creativity. Why not we get an animation done from him, or why not we get trained from him? So the additional benefit of growing business also starts coming forward. So I think it gives immense satisfaction to share knowledge, and the byproduct of that is that the business also starts growing. So I've been sharing graphics, short cartoon animations, and then also how to make DIYs, how to use Photoshop to create your own social media posts, and then vlogs, and also small things like crafts. So something that makes me really happy, I just keep doing that. And I with an intention that the person who watches also feels really happy. So that's a just a translation of the passion.
Right. So you've been contributing. I mean, you've been building your brand by giving. It's basically giving to get. Like, I mean, not necessarily
Yeah.
for the purpose of getting, but yes, giving so that you can contribute and share your knowledge and information. And that's yes, I think that is the foundation of any personal branding endeavor, right? Because people need to know what you're capable of, and when you give without any expectation, people they respond in kind, I guess, huh?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And one more main reason was that, like the way I learned so much from the YouTubers and online content creators, I thought there must be some bit which I've learned the hard way. The business journey, the creative journey, um, all of that. So even a bit of it, if it goes out and it makes things easier for others, that will make me more satisfied and happy. And for entrepreneurs, the main thing, apart from earning money, is the sense of satisfaction, and it comes from giving. So I thought,
Absolutely.
let us make our lives easier by sharing. So that is the
Right.
whole intent. Yeah,
Yes, and people respond better when you share, a free, you share freely, you create information, create useful information, and people
yeah,
are obviously going to come and say, okay, this guy can solve this problem and he's showing us how to do this, he can do it for us as well, So that's how it worked for me as well. I started blogging and sharing information. So I guess that's worked very well for you. And what's the name of your YouTube channel? You've sent me the link, but can you
yeah.
just share
The
that?
the name is Rosh Ideations, the firm name itself. And it's a the channel is about, which revolves around edutainment content, education within a sense of entertainment, and about crafts and turning passion into profession, and animation. So it's a mixture, everything that revolves around art and creativity. But most importantly, I focus on ensuring that somebody learns from it and as well as gets entertained. So I'm trying
Right.
to fuse both of it.
Yeah. So edutainment, it's like edutainment, right? So
Absolutely, yes.
education plus entertainment. That
Right.
Yeah, that's much better than just trying to educate people, because people come online to be entertained most of the time. They want a break from their routine. So
Yeah.
edutainment is one of the best ways to coach people and to share your knowledge and and your expertise with them, right?
Yeah.
So, Roshan, what besides your YouTube channel, have you been using any other methods, or is that the only? Has that worked really well for you, so that you don't have to use anything else?
No, it's still in a very nascent stage, even the YouTube, because um, amidst the challenges of running the routine business, it took a lot of dedication now to start spending more time to create that content. So
Mm-hmm.
initially I thought it was easy, but later I realized that it really takes a lot of efforts for the successful YouTubers and online content creators, that how much amount of effort it goes.
Right.
So it's in a very nascent stage, but yes, it has got qualified for the YouTube partner program.
Oh, that's very
So
nice.
that now it is more motivating to spend more time on it. But
So
I
that means it.
realized that,
Yeah. Sorry. Tell me.
sorry, you were asking something.
No, no. Tell
Uh,
me. Yeah.
yeah. But I realized that it is important that we be consistent on all the social media. Okay, because you never know. And I have not been primarily driven towards the revenue part of it to put this content, because the policies keep changing. Okay.
Right.
With different social media, the monetization and things like that keep changing.
Right.
And since we are already running a business, the dependency is not through the monetization that comes from the channel, but the
Okay.
visibility that we get is the primary motive. And apart from that, if anything comes in, it's a bonus, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when the intent is not purely monetization, then more genuine content goes out. So I've not kept the focus of monetization at all when it comes to personal branding online.
I
Okay.
agree. I completely agree, actually, because I created my blog also with the same purpose. It was a passion
Mhm,
project. It was not meant for monetization when I created it in 2007, and
mhm.
it's remained so. It's not. I've deliberately not put ads on the blog, because ads actually they detract from the user experience. That's what I found, on blogs and stuff like that. You can see a lot of blogs where there's so many ads, you can't read the content. So I didn't
Yeah,
like that. So I liked yeah, your point of not being a monetization channel completely. I can relate to that, because that is exactly the way
yeah.
I've gone. Yeah. So tell me.
So it comes, then no problem. So ultimate goal is that yes, there is huge revenues which comes from there. So but through genuine content, through useful content, the growth happens. And as a result of that, if revenue comes, that's fine. But
Right.
if I sit and strategize, okay, if I put this content, then wo viral chala jayega, and then I'll get more revenue, so the genuinity will lose out. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
avoid that, so I'm
Yeah.
going the other way.
Hmm.
And also trying to be consistent on any content that comes. It is on all the channels, Insta, TikTok, because which platform catches more attention at what point of time, you never know.
Right.
And it cross platform uh, growth also happens.
Hmm.
So I feel it is really important to be available, to be present on all the platforms.
Hmm.
And that's how the reach will get better.
Right. But how do you create content, say for YouTube and for TikTok? I think that's a challenge for many people, creating similar content or you repurposing the same content, because TikTok requires vertical video and YouTube is always about, the landscape oriented video.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? If you have any
I have
tips to
figured out.
share, yeah, if you have any tips to share.
Yeah. So far I realized that yes, the vertical part is there, but even if the horizontal ones is not that inconvenient to watch on
Hmm.
TikTok as well.
Right.
Instead of keeping it platform specific, what I'm trying to now do is uh, create as much possible a 60 seconds video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so that you put upload it anywhere, it goes out, and then
Right.
attention span is also that much.
That
And
makes
by
sense.
chance, if any video goes longer, then I just take a small bit of it and put it on TikTok and say that for the full version, go to YouTube.
Right,
Okay.
right. Makes
So
sense.
just making the most of any content that is created, and then see how, because it's more or less, I realize that the consistency is required, right? So
Absolutely.
that's why I
Mm.
just trying to leverage that. And then so far, even the horizontal one, if it is created, I'm just putting it out because it's in a
Yeah,
very nascent stage.
right.
And I also collaborated with an agency who's trying to help me out to guide what content goes out well on what part of the day
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So because it is so important that when we are not paying for advertising ourselves,
Mm.
so at least we should have the technical know-hows about how the search engine works, how the social media algorithms work,
Mm. Right.
the technicalities.
Mm.
Then at least those things help us to boost the speed, right?
Yeah, right.
So the right consultation from the agencies like that helps. Then we could also start helping each other in promoting and stuff like that. So an external help is also needed, so I'm taking some help from them as
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you need to go to experts in order to get the best expertise, right? And to
well.
learn
Yeah.
how to leverage your content in the best way possible.
Yeah, and also social media algorithms are such that we as a end user will never be able to understand it, and it keeps changing. So it's a different world altogether. So the consulting that they give, or the kind of simple hints, like
Yeah.
which part of the day, what content. So I recently realized that they got some great inputs, like um, we feel, we feel YouTube is really popular, but
Mm.
highest amount of average time spent today is on TikTok.
Yes, right. Okay.
The next is YouTube, the next is Insta, the next is Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
the last all others, right? So then again, in that also, the demand for entertainment is going down, and the all the channels are preferring all the creators who are actually trying to provide education based content.
Is that so? Okay.
Okay. So then that means, because majority of users are doing entertainment, so this
Mm-hmm.
becomes niche,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So what kind of content, and what is being valued, and what to be posted on what part of the day, all these things I think are required for a smarter execution, right? Otherwise we keep creating and then keep wondering, why are we not getting the right visibility? So I think some kind of investment in learning these things also helps a lot.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, it's a good thing to know, like you said, like I was saying, how to leverage your content. There's no point in creating a lot of content, and if it's not getting the maximum, the reach and the engagement that
Yeah,
you can possibly get, right? So,
yeah.
yeah. So, what has not worked for you? Have you tried anything that has not really worked for you in terms of personal branding?
Um, uh, in fact, uh, I've been now trying to put a lot of efforts towards this aspect. So I do not have much in terms of evaluation done
Mm,
so far. So I've
okay.
been just letting it out, and then want to put at least 5 or 6 months more and then see, because the user base or the kind of response now, it's a small set of people in the circle, and they're like really excited. You whatever you
Right.
put, they're like, hey, nice, nice, nice. So
Okay.
so only when there are like some tens of thousands of people adding up every month, then it's a
Yes.
mix of opinion that keeps coming in. So now
Yes,
I'm
that's true.
purely focused on putting more hard work and time in the amount of content, and possibly I'll be able to evaluate after a few months, because currently it's not in a very, it's in a very young stage at this
Yes,
moment.
I get that. Yes, yes, it makes sense. Have you tried? I mean, do you believe in offline networking, or do you go for offline meets to promote your business, meeting people, local, kind of networking meetings, things like that, industry events and stuff. Has that worked for you?
Yeah, I've been, in fact, that is has been my favorite part. Right. So my before social media, or like being more active on the online part, um, I've been part of a Thai, and that has been my favorite part. Going to more speaking to people and engaging. So speaking has been my, I really love meeting more people, understanding stuff. Like
Right.
that curiosity has always been there.
Yes.
So that has actually helped, and the the best part is the World Economic Forum, Global Shapers, so that so I think curiosity is the key. So yes, offline has been a really big part of the whole journey in business, and then get to learn a lot is what I really enjoy in that process.
Yeah, because nothing beats talking to potential customers face to face, right? And
Yeah,
I've also been I go for Thai events. I go for ThaiCon Pune all every year,
yeah,
and it's
uh-huh.
really interesting, to engage with people one on one, and
Yeah.
to face and meet them, because that makes for real relationships rather than the relationships we have from behind our computers, right? The online. I
And
mean,
it's
the
like
online.
a mirror.
Mm,
We exactly get to know where we stand and what
mm,
more has to be done.
right.
And so I've been like, when I just began, the first thing that I did was join the local Thai chapter,
Mm,
and then they were like encouraging me like a small kid. Hey, this like guy has come forward, let us support him. So somebody called me, to do my logo design, do this, do that. The kind of right support that is required at every stage, it comes from such events.
true.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
also, when we start growing also, we need the mirror to start saying that, okay, you're going too fast, slow down, or this is a mistake that you're making,
Mm-hmm.
go slow. So
Yeah.
I think offline in-person meetings and conversations are a really, really important part,
Yes.
because
Even
online is
I.
one
Mm,
way,
mm,
but if it is
yes.
a two-way thing, then offline has to be there.
Absolutely, and I think you learn so much more from meeting people, because, like you said, people will come. There are many people willing to support you, and I have found the same. In Thai Pune, I have found that there are lots of
Mhm.
supportive people willing to help you out, and give you support, give you the help that you need at any point of time in your growth as an entrepreneur, right? So.
Yeah. And I was fortunate to be a part of like really important events like India Economic Summit, which happens at a really high level, like amongst the 5,000 global shapers, there are
Right.
around 50 chosen through application. So twice I got a chance to be a part of it, and then the
Mm-hmm.
best part was that before that I used to feel like the successful people and the celebrities are not human beings. Okay, I genuinely used to feel that, that they're like some divine people, you know. And then here, global shapers, all the politicians, film stars, and bureaucrats, everybody were on the same platform. Like our voice
Mhm.
and their voice were given equal weightage. We could
Right,
directly go and speak to them.
right,
That's the first time I realized that okay, these are human beings. They're just like us. So
right,
they feel and speak and move around just like us. So that baggage of inferiority or that heaviness, all that was lost. So I
right,
got
right.
to interact with people like Sadhguru and politicians and all. So I got so much of confidence that then, okay, now it's time to go to the next level. So yes,
Yes.
the offline meeting and these being a part of the important events, like those were like game changing for me personally.
Right. I completely agree because they have been very good for me also when I started finally going offline, and talking and meeting people at these events. It
Mhm.
was really, it was eye opening. And like you said, you meet celebrities and you realize they're human beings just like us, right? They're not
Yeah,
special or anything, and they all have their, I mean, they all have their issues and stuff, and we can talk to them on a one-to-one basis, and it's
yeah,
not yeah, that complicated as we make it out to be in our heads. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So I have I mean, so I guess all these connections that you've made have helped you, in creating a brand as well as an entrepreneur.
Yes. So the latest, the most awaited project I've been waiting to start on my own was the School of Passion. So School of Passion is the most dearest training initiative that I always have been waiting to begin. But I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to drill myself into the system so much that I come up with a really value adding system.
Right.
I'll tell you about that. But how the it's been helping about these connections is that the right kind of entrepreneurs, celebrities, and the interactions, the mentorships that have happened. So that material I've been able to put on my on my YouTube and my website, so that reassures the end customers, the students, that yes, th- this person and his team are in a position to deliver something because they have the right kind of experience. So now I see that there are so many educators and online training providers and everybody that who are trying to venture out. So everybody is trying to give the same pitch. So it becomes really difficult to reassure the end customers or the students or whoever we are trying to work with that yes, we are the right kind of people you can trust, because ultimately when we are speaking anything online, they feel that okay, this person or this company is just another thing. Okay, but these conversations, these pictures and all of that, it helps to build that trust that yes, they have been putting right kind of efforts, and if they have reached that kind of a level where they can go and talk to these people, there must be something which they are doing right.
Right.
So the offline meetings and conversations and mentorship sessions, it somewhere boosts the whole process in trust building is what I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they can see that you have that expert authority and that you're engaging with other experts at that level. So of course that builds your own brand authority, right? So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So tell me more about the School of Passion and this project that you've started.
Yeah. So School of Passion, it's 2011 when I had passed out of college, tried to get my after animation studies.
Hmm.
I was almost about to get through Google interviews, so that was a big thing. But unfortunately, the last round of Google interview, once it was over, the same day the Telangana strike started
Oh, I
in
see.
Hyderabad,
Okay.
so just missed it out.
Hmm.
Then to keep myself engaged, I went to some BPO, Infosys BPO, and then but the core what I'd studied animation, I was not able to get a job in that. So
Mm-hmm.
then I realized that when I'd got into BCA, my Bachelor of Computer Applications, and my animation studies, we were just taught the tools. Okay, we were just taught what is programming, what is Photoshop, what is this, and how to use
Mm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, what the industry wants is that they need proactive leaders. As soon as
Mm.
a business owner, he
Yeah.
takes projects from clients and he needs somebody else who he can give the work to so that his time is saved. Okay. But here that is not happening just because we are just only taught the tools. So we are building operators. We're
Mm.
not building
Mm.
concept makers, right?
Right.
So that
Right.
is, and I feel the problem is that it has been there since the beginning. The institutes are not, or the colleges are not teaching having an outcome based approach.
Absolutely.
इसको हम
Yeah.
कहाँ जाके apply करने वाले हैं?
Mm.
Tomorrow after doing this course, where are you going to actually use this?
Right.
What would be their expectation? Nothing is taught.
Right.
Just the curriculum is finished, and even the student does the same mistake, that we just learn for the sake of learning and at last expect an amazing job. Okay, but there is a huge disconnect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also the third and very important aspect is that, like people like me who are absolutely passionate about design, art, creativity, whenever I used to do drawing in school days, they used to say this is a waste of time, why are you spending time on drawing, right? It was a notion at that time like that. So I realized one day I will do something where turning one's passion into profession has to become as simple and very cool. Okay,
Right.
so I've drafted a curriculum where if somebody wants to learn graphic designing, animation, digital marketing, they can do it in just 100 days. Okay,
Oh, wow.
a person who is just passed out of 10th standard, or is a housewife, or is a 70-year-old person, just decide that you have passion in something like this, and want to start use putting it to some right use, and then start earning money, dignity, and fame as well. So for that, all of that has to come together. But the most important thing is that it has to be done fast, right? We cannot put years together like we do it in graduation.
Absolutely. Yes.
Secondly, it has to be time bound, so I put it like 3 hours a week every alternate day, and very limited fee as well. And so that, and then people can choose to learn online through Skype, or offline meeting me in person as well. So I've
Okay.
tried to avoid all the problems of the current system, that it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money. Arey, I'm here, I can't go there. So all the problems I've tried to eliminate, and I challenge saying that within 100 days, if you are passionate about designing, come to me, and I guarantee that you will end up either being a freelancer, earning your own, or you will end up getting a job for sure.
That's
Okay.
awesome. That's really awesome. That is something we absolutely need in this country because we are not teaching young people the skills to survive, to start off on their own as freelancers and, get a job. And that's something I have a lot of people asking on my nari.com blog, a lot of women
Hmm.
asking how they can work from home. So I would be really happy to promote your products there,
Absolutely.
your services there. So
So I
that
have
sounds
one
great.
friend's aunt who joined in, and then I began teaching her. So she was like always so passionate about doing something, but she got married so early. Then that got suppressed. Then she had kids. So the whole life was surrounding around this, that small world. But I realized that if I teach her this, then she'll be able to, through internet, take up projects, through internet deliver, through internet earn, then put up our own Instagram channel, and then start putting up designs. People will come and appreciate. So more than the money part, the kind of respect that she will get, the kind of feel good factor that she'll develop for herself, we can use technology and make this happen, right?
Right.
So that is why I've named it School of Passion, because there is no boundaries or age or anything to turn one's passion to profession. So
I
that's
completely
why I've been
agree.
just. And also one main part that I've missed out is that in this I've structured in such a way that, like for example, designing, graphic designing. Okay,
Yeah, right.
the person who will pass out of School of Passion will not only end up being a designer, but he or she will be an end-to-end person.
Hmm.
That person will know how to collect requirement, how to
Mm-hmm.
communicate with the client or the boss,
Okay.
then build a concept, then design, then give options, then how to make changes. If the boss gives 30 minutes of time, then what to do? If the boss gives 30 days of time, then what to do? So it
Mm-hmm.
is like if we build him from end to end, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that person will be like a boss. Anybody will be able to pick him up, right?
Yes, of course. Yes,
So, but this is not being taught in any one of the regular college curriculums, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
And also, most importantly, in the institutes and all, they do not check whether this person belongs here. Okay, so here
Mm-hmm.
in my thing, 7 or 8 out of them who come to inquire with me, I first check whether they belong here,
Mm-hmm.
because I do not want to waste their time, money, efforts, and then go depressed. I thought it would be this, but it turned out to be this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I've been checking, and then whether they're really passionate about this, whether they will do something, translate it into something beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
then I take them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, institutes, what they do is they pull people, take admissions, take the money, and then they're not really concerned about whether this will shape their life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I've been also avoiding to take students who are just coming here for the sake of you know learning it.
Right.
So absolutely, we are focused in order to turn one's passion to profession. And once they are out, they are really making wonders once they step out. And then
Okay.
in as less as 100 days.
Okay.
Sorry, I took
Okay.
longer, but I
No,
really
no,
had to
no.
convey
That's
the essence of the whole thing behind the change that we're trying to make through
and
this.
I can see you're very passionate about it. You know, you're very passionate about the change that you're trying to achieve, which is quite amazing. And I think it is absolutely needed in this country today because we see so many young people not getting jobs, and not just that, not able to follow their passion of art or design, or, graphic design or whatever. Many people are artists, but they don't know how to monetize it, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
you're going to help them monetize that. So I love that. I really love that because my child also fits into that category. So
amazing.
maybe I'll put him in touch with you. Let's see. Okay.
Sure. And further, when I'm like after some days when I'm self-sufficient, I have plans to start free batches for the untouched, untapped community, which are the transgenders and the underprivileged. Because what I feel is that we are responsible for making them who they are, because we do not
Yes.
accept them in our regular education system. We do
Yeah.
not provide them education,
Yeah.
and then when they end up begging, we say why they are begging.
That's
To
absolutely
earn,
true.
they
Yeah.
need education.
Of
So I've
course.
been secretly trying to form a group and then find a place, call them, train them, so that at least from their home, and then the government gives them the laptop and the internet,
Yeah.
so they can from wherever they are take projects, deliver, earn money, improve their lives.
Yeah.
So for this, we won't be charging anything, but this just I'm trying to build a ecosystem, trying to find a place where we can support them. So this
That's
is something
wonderful.
which back end we are trying to work
That's
on.
wonderful, actually making a difference and in the lives of people who are marginalized, So, and these communities are extremely marginalized. They really don't have the opportunities that many other people have. Although it's growing, at least in India, we are beginning to be more accepting of them, and they are getting more jobs. But still, to a large extent, they are not getting what they deserve, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's wonderful. I really love that you're doing that. So, do you have any parting thoughts to share with my community on about branding yourself as an entrepreneur and the importance and maybe how they should go ahead doing that?
Yeah, one main thought is that most of us suppress ourselves with the thought that, should I do this, or should I market myself? Will it look like boasting or too much of flaunting and things like that? And we try to judge ourselves, and with the fear of others will judge, we don't end up doing that. But I think we shamelessly have to promote ourselves, speak our hearts out. So my strong recommendation would be, whatever it is, if you really feel for whatever you're doing, just let the content out and ensure that it is consistent, you know
Yeah,
because out of 10 people, even if 3 are loving you, then it will translate it to millions for sure.
right.
So do not be shy, and then be consistent. So these are two important things that
Absolutely.
may help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roshan. Your inputs have been. I'm sure that my community is going to really benefit from them, especially young people, because you're a young person yourself, and you are an inspiration to them because you're showing them how much difference you can make, not only in your own life but as well as in the lives of others. Right. So, thank you so much for sharing.
I'm so glad you gave an opportunity to share the thoughts. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege.